Where is the best place to take a train? We're sharing your travel tips with Jersey Joe, Ion, and you. Now, on the Season 6 premiere of The Brew.
All right, Joel, there's Joel out there live in Las Vegas. So, Joel, where's a great place to travel for vacation via train?
Well, luckily I live in the Las Vegas Valley, and that means, if you're unfamiliar with what I'm getting at, there are a lot of cities that are about 4 to 5 hours away in every direction. So the first one I would say is Southern California, and that's because there's so many sporting events you can hit up so easily. So if I could take Amtrak, like an Amtrak train you could take on the East Coast or out in the Midwest and go straight to Southern California, I would absolutely love to. I would do it on a regular basis, probably on weekends, but that's my A1 answer. Phoenix, Salt Lake City, the Bay Area, those would all be great. But I would say SoCal is probably going to get me to more sporting events, go to the beach a little bit, San Diego, LA, Anaheim area. What about you?
Well, you covered two of my answers right there, because I live on the east here, so it's pretty easy to get to a train anywhere. But one of those ones I always want to do is take one of those nice, those dome cars out west where it's like the scenic, like through the Rockies or something, or even like maybe through like Canadian Rockies or something. Like, I always thought that would be great. One of those ones where you can like stay overnight on the train. It's got like the full like table service, the bar and everything. Like, I don't know, I thought that would be great. Pretty much anywhere out west. The one thing they always talk about doing though, they never connected that train they were going to do between Vegas and LA. Like, I've had to make that drive between Vegas and LA before. I don't ever want to do that again for the rest of my life. But if they ever kick that X train on or whatever there, like, that'd be such an easy way to get to LA and around. You guys need your train service back there.
Yeah, no kidding. You and I both have done that drive. It's brutal. It is a terrible drive. Nobody likes doing that drive that has to do it. So, yeah, that's a very good answer.
Did I ever tell you, off topic, I accidentally got into the old train station, the Plaza Hotel there in Vegas. It's actually their gym now, and you can walk right into it. It's when you walk in the gym, it still has like the Amtrak mural on the wall and everything, but then it's got like exercise bikes next to it, and the door is still there, like go out onto the platform. So if a train ever actually could come, and the door is probably locked, but you can actually get out there and move around. It's so easy to just go down there and jump on the train. I still can't believe they just don't have a train going there.
I don't know what the reason is. There's got to be money in airlines and cars and buses that are taking up, a significant chunk of this. That I don't know why there isn't one. There really isn't a good answer other than there's got to be some money wrapped up somewhere. Cheers, by the way. You said you accidentally fell in the train station. I can see Joe accidentally having a couple of these and accidentally stumbling his way into the train station.
Yeah, I actually I know where it is there in the plaza. I read it up online before, and I'm like, oh, let's go take a look and see if I can find it. And there's a men's room there off the food court. You just keep on going around to the gym, and there it is. It's right off the street level. Like, you can walk into it. It's not closed or anything. Like,
I'll stumble in there by accident one day and end up in LA.
Why not? Why not? Hey, one other train ride I would like to take, though, and you and I kind of did it a little bit, is over in Europe. Any of those luxury trains over there around will be here, or the Orient Express, because you never know who you'll run into on the Orient Express.
Yeah, Joe and I ran into two of our friends in a train station in Manchester, ironically. But yeah, that's a very good example, too. Those bullet trains over in Europe are amazing.
Yeah, you and I took that one Virgin train, and we loved it. Like, it was, for a bullet train moving, we were flying, the train was rocking back and forth, but super clean, super comfortable. There was a little convenience store on there. You and I had, like, one of those little table sections, Like, we really didn't want that train ride to end. It was great.
Yeah, it actually felt like a little bit of, like, a bonus to the vacation, believe it or not. So, yeah, definitely, we're all pro train here. Run train, run train, run train, run.
Well,
train.
yeah, I'll tell you right now, I would much rather take a train than a plane. Like, it's just easier. It really is. And then also, when you take a train, you don't have to go through all the TSA security. Like, when I jump on Amtrak here and go anywhere you want, there's no security check. They don't check your bags. You can pretty much roll up onto that train as long as you're not late for the departure. There isn't really a long line or anything. Unlike when you go to an airport, you got to make sure you're at the airport 2 hours early, go through security, get screamed at, take all your pants off, your belt off, all that, little liquids in the bag. Like, once you even get through TSA, you're already so damn stressed out by the time then you get to the gate, deal with those people. Whereas a train, maybe it's not like the most secure thing to say, but it's easier to deal with just for that security factor alone.
Yeah, for sure. I think we both pretty much agree on this. It's good for another point you made is with all the extra luggage that you have to go through TSA. The train is good for people like you and me. It's not necessarily great for families who are going to have like 1,000 things to carry, but it's great for people like you and me, or like couples or small groups of people, because if you just want to go somewhere for a weekend, throw something in a backpack, throw a couple of clothes in there, go stay at a hotel, you can do it easily.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have to give a shout out. I don't know what Amtrak does for their employees, but every time I take an Amtrak train, those employees are super happy. They're super friendly. They're super cool. I've never had like a grouchy Amtrak employee. I mean, I'm sure it happens. It happens everywhere. And I've taken a lot of Amtrak trains, especially when I go back home to Pennsylvania. But I don't know. They just seem to be like in a genuinely good mood.
You know what's funny? That's exactly what my experience is, and I've taken them all over the Midwest and a couple times over in the East Coast between different cities, and I've never run into, even Joe and even you and I, we went to the one from New York to Boston. It was like, okay, we got really friendly employees on that one too.
Yeah, and if you guys want to see something cool, go back on my channel here and check out my first class experience on the Acela. I was drunk by Philadelphia when I got a cheap ticket on a flash sale on Amtrak. It was, the dollar value in that alone, between the meal and then, I got a seat by myself, and it was the flash sale cost. I mean, it was cheaper than going to the bar in Penn Station and buying a meal. Like, it was absolutely worth it. That's when I ended up in D.C. and you and I went to the Nationals game that one trip. It was great. So I would do that again, and there's a new Acela train going to hit the rails sometime here in 2022. It was delayed because of COVID, but it's going to hit the rail. So we got to jump on the Acela one time, Joel. You'll like that.
I'll go with you. But if anyone's listening right now, any of these companies licensed to print Joe's money and mine, and probably a lot more people.
Yeah. I think our opinion is well known on this show. Okay, well, our viewers here and our friends have a lot to say about where they think a great place to travel via train is, so let's get some of them now. Vamos Yankee says Yankee Stadium. Well, anytime you take a train to Yankee Stadium, either BD4 or Metro North, it's always a joy. I've never taken Metro North there. I know it's one stop, but for me, it's always the 4 Express, and I like the fact when you come out of that tunnel and there's just that pristine view of Yankee Stadium. I like that. Not really a train, it's a subway.
Yeah, I was just saying it's beautiful.
More of your comments. Rudy says Pennsylvania. I know because I used to live there. Heather says he took a family trip to New York on a train. It was in December, so we all got to see the tree and enjoy the city during the Christmas season. Now, I know which train they took. It's the Amtrak Pennsylvania because I have taken it myself many times back to Western PA. It goes from New York Penn to Pittsburgh. It used to go to Chicago, not just goes to Pittsburgh. It's a long time. You go through the world famous horseshoe curve, the jersey I'm wearing now. And it's easier than dealing with traffic, and it takes a lot to stop that train, but again, I would much rather do that than sitting in hours and hours of traffic. Plus, and you take that thing in the fall, you're up in the beautiful mountains, like, it's great scenery.
I don't doubt you.
Some people have more ideas with some good scenic trains, like Ben, who says, Lakeshore Limited Chicago. You leave New York Penn at about 3:30 p.m. Dinner stop in Albany. Have a nightcap on the train, get a good night's sleep in a roomette, wake up and you're in Chicago at 9 a.m. Plus, the roomette ticket gives you access to the Metropolitan Lounge at Union Station in Chicago, which has free snacks and luggage storage. Joel, I know for a fact that this is a good idea because when you and I were planning on going to the Cubs trip that we had to shut down in 2020 because of COVID, this was the train I was planning on taking to get there. I wanted to do this like overnight experience, and this is still on the list to do, but I think that'd be totally great. I mean, it takes forever to get here, but it'd be all right.
You know, train rides, that's the other thing about train rides that's different about planes and cars is when you're in a car, you're usually having someone who's super stressed out driving in traffic, or you're stop and go, blah, 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 blah. You know, there's always delays. Plane, same thing. You could get delayed. And for me, and for like other people like me and DJ Khaled, you don't like being up in the sky. Like that makes you nervous. So I'm with trains. I'm exactly with you on this this route. You could go and see half the country just looking out the window, not having to worry about it, being on your own track.
And this Chicago train also had a thing called a roomette. And it's 2 different types of roomettes. One is 2 beds that fold down, and there's another one that has 2 beds that fold down and a little shower in your room. So you don't even have to like stay awake to drive. Like in a car, somebody always has to be up and freaking out. But this one, you take a little nap. You know, they bring food to your room if you want, or you go to the dining car. You can drink while you do it. So it makes travel so much easier. I think the price from here to Chicago, I think it was $400 and some dollars. But again, I'm always looking for those Amtrak flash sales, which they always have. Just follow their Twitter. That's how you get them.
If you're using it $400, okay. If you're using it for a hotel, though, that makes the money worth it.
That's exactly my point. I agree. Between your tolls, the gas, the hotel, the travel, yes, it all. So you just got to think about it's the time factor. How fast do you want to get there? Can you take the extra, 12 hours to take via train, or do you want to take the 2 hour flight?
Definitely have a party train.
Yeah. But you and I, a little roomette, I think that's a web show screaming to happen. Like, that would be a good time.
We need to get some of our buddies out in New York, film that with us.
Yeah, they probably would go with us, too. They'd want to go. Plus, there's sort of alcohol, so I know they'll want to go. More of your comments. Aaron says, the Trans-Siberian Railway, longest in the world until Snowpiercer is built. Real treat sweets. Up the California coast, Pacific coast, and into Canada. It's my dream vacation to do that trip. There's another one. It's another train where it basically goes along the Pacific coast. You get the ocean on one side, you get like beautiful green scenery on the other.
You know what? I've actually driven. I've driven northern and southern California, like through the middle of it before, and it's just beautiful. But for the reason we already said, the traffic just kind of ruins it for you if you're driving. So that's a very good answer by Matt Tree.
And our final answer comes from Scoots in Vegas. He says, I have always wanted to take a train across Europe. Well, one thing I've also found in my research, whether Europe, Asia, their trains are much nicer than ours. They're in much better shape than ours. They have better amenities than ours, better Wi-Fi. I don't know. Other countries have really embraced trains, whereas America has kind of like push them off the side. I know Biden's got that whole infrastructure plan to try to make trains better. He loves trains, but other countries, they got us beat on the train thing.
Oh yeah, we're way behind other countries on this. We could get into a whole other web show about this, but yes, that's a very good point.
All right, so there we go. We have determined that you guys like trains. Trains are a good option for travel. There's all your great answers. I want to thank you for all those, and I'll thank you even more when you click that like, subscribe button down below for all the fun here on the Jersey Joe 50 YouTube channel. 4 big shows waiting for you each and every week. And the Brew, we're back here for another season. This is our season 6 kickoff here right now. That's, and it happened fast. I got to be honest. Not as fast as Amtrak train, but fast.
Run, train, run, train, run.
Okay. All right, Jersey Joe, Ian, and you saying thanks for watching. Thanks for all your great comments, and we'll see you next time, I hope.
2022 astrological predictions. Now, on Kicking Back with Jersey Joe, right here on YouTube Jersey Joe 50.